Anchorage is home to amazing world-class hiking trails.
Anchorage is a mountain mecca that's to be enjoyed for people recreating at all levels.
My name is Lisa Maloney.
My name is Matthias Sari,
I should characterize myself as a travel and outdoors writer.
president of the Alaska Mountain Runners Group, a mountain lover.
I don't actually know what drew me to the outdoors. It was such a natural thing that just clicked for me from day one. I don't remember a time when it didn't click for me.
My mother is from Austria, which is a mountain country certainly, and she grew up at a farmhouse in the foothills of the Austrian Alps, and that became an important place in my childhood. That was my first exposure to mountains.
I got my start writing outdoors columns for the local newspapers. That turned into a guidebook deal. That turned into a full-time writing career, and here I am.
Really, the mountains called me to Anchorage. That was a very conscious decision.
You look up from whatever you're doing in the city, and pow, there are the Chugach Mountains right there. They're ever present.
It's so accessible, and I think that's really unique for an urban environment to drive 10, 15 minutes and have this playground. Your imagination can take you as far as you want to go.
There's always a story happening in the outdoors. There's always something alive.
It wasn't until I moved to Alaska that I really started experiencing them as a lifestyle and as a competitive outlet for mountain running.
I've written 3 guidebooks in total about Alaska. Assembling a hiking guidebook is definitely a labor of love and a labor of enthusiasm. There are a whole lot of miles involved. The labor that makes it into the book is obvious, so for every hike, I've been there at least once, often more times. I've taken multiple pictures. I've taken notes while I was hiking. I've taken notes after I was done hiking. I've GPSed the entire thing, and I've marked important intersections.
Mountain running, it's really moving as quickly and as efficiently as you can through mountainous terrain. Not an exaggeration to say that day changed my life. Mount Marathon race is the oldest mountain race in North America. That goes back 96 years. It was an 85-degree day. The guy who was leading the race, about a couple hundred yards from the finish, he collapsed from heat exhaustion. He had a considerable lead and almost had the race in the bag, but you got to get to the finish line.
And Matthias Sari taking nothing away.
Managed to get there first.
A very fast finish.
Pretty exciting to say the least, to win the biggest race in the state. The way that changed my life, I mean, that sealed the deal that I wanted to move to the mountains, leave Fairbanks, come to South Central Alaska, start experiencing mountain running and racing and recreating at a different level.
My family was not outdoorsy at all. Hiking wasn't even on the map as a possibility. I had a less than ideal childhood. There was very little peace. There was not only very little connection with self, but there was a lot of reason to disconnect from self. When you have an opportunity to connect with the enormous living thing that is the outdoors, whether you do it every day or whether it's something you've never gotten to do before in your life, then something shifts inside of you. I found connection to something that was bigger than me and that fulfilled a need in me I didn't even realize I had. It's really unique and amazing that we can get that sensation here right on the outskirts of a good-sized city, so you can kind of have your cake and eat it too.
There's mountains for everyone here. It's all levels. You don't have to be an experienced mountain runner or racer. We have walk-up mountains with nice, wide, sustainable trails to sort of Alaska-style trails straight up the mountain, straight down the mountain. Something for everyone, for sure.
Anchorage is ridiculously rich in green spaces. Part of what draws people out into the mountains, and certainly part of what draws me out there also, is that there is some element of the unknown or the unpredictable or the uncontrolled. I would like for people to have a chance to experience a true, free environment where you never actually do know quite what's around the next corner. I would also like for people to be prepared for that. And that can be as simple as, hey, take a jacket with you in case the weather changes. Take a water bottle. Let somebody know where you were going. So you'll know how to navigate, you'll know how to be a great visitor, and just as important, you'll know how to have a really great visit so you will have a lasting memory of a lifetime.
You're up there and you'll look back to town and imagine the traffic and the people, and it just feels very far away. It's just peaceful. There are times that I'm just awestruck.
You could say it's the call of the wild. It's an opportunity to see what life is like with fewer guide rails.
Never had a bad day in the mountains. You might go up there with a bad mood, but I always come out of there feeling better. It's just an amazing place that's accessible for anyone.
It is something very special and very unique that we have up here that is beautiful for visitors to get to experience, and also the people that live up here, because it does definitely give you a different perspective.